What's happening, everybody? It's Chris with Lone Wolf DIY here at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show. Embarrassing myself in front of everybody with this camera. People are watching, they're judging, they're talking to their friends, and they're like, look at that asshole. I'm pretty new to pinball, but I am having a lot of fun. The Stern company behind me, they got Avengers, they got Godzilla, and my personal favorite, they have a new Rush game. I've been playing that for hours. I sit there and I dance like nobody's watching, but I don't give a shit if anybody's watching. I'm headbanging, having a good time. Also on the floor, they got all kinds of classics. They got some older stuff from like the 50s or whatever, and then over here, they got a lot of really cool new games, along with some really neato booths. Like there's a place where you can learn how to DIY your own pinball machine, which is badass. Go ahead, dude, you're fine. Nobody's gonna watch this shit anyway. Joey's a network expert, and he also utilizes UniFi's amazing stuff. When I was back there taking a look at the tournament and the streaming process, they had an AP6 Nano there, and they also had a G3 Flex camera. So I thought I'd take a minute and do a little interview and check them out and see what they were up to. So stick around and check this out.
This is round one of the playoffs. Playoffs?
Is it working now?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, it's
good.
fine. So you were saying, what do you guys land?
So PDX LAN, it's like I said, we're the most sponsored, biggest LAN party in the Pacific Northwest. It's I think it's 600 people. Normally we do it twice a year in the spring and the fall. It's down in Vancouver, Washington, so it's right across the border from Portland, Oregon. We basically set up a giant network, 600 people, bring in their computers, game for a weekend, tear all the computers down. We give out normally between about $100,000 to $120,000 of the prizes we give out every event. So it's a really, really cool event, a lot of fun. Our first event was 2003. So almost,
Oh, geez.
yeah, almost 20 years
It's
now.
almost, it's almost pre-internet.
Yeah.
Almost. Do you do specific games in these LAN parties, or is there like...
With that many people play whatever they want. There's actually a number of clans that like play online, and they only meet in person during PDX LAN. So they come from all over the country, and they'll meet there for that weekend. People who play Counter-Strike, we've got a lot of mobile players. You name the game, there's people there playing it. This is the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Expo. And it is the biggest arcade in the Pacific Northwest for this weekend. So on the other side of that wall, there's literally hundreds of pinball machines and arcade machines. We're just here doing the streaming for the seminars and the tournaments that are going on. This is the most heavily involved we've been in doing the streaming. We've done the streaming for the seminars in the past. This is the first time we're doing both the seminars and the tournament. Geek Gamer TV is the group that's doing the streaming part of it.
So I was talking to Chase in there, and I asked, because I saw that there was like a AP Nano, and then you had the G3 Flex cameras, and he was saying that I was originally going to chat with him, and he said that you were the guy to chat with about that. So what is the setup for him with the Ubiquiti stuff then?
I really do appreciate Ubiquiti products. I think they are the perfect bridge of high-end consumer to low-end in industry or business. I'm a network engineer professionally. The city that I work in, we actually deployed UniFi gear at the public library for public wireless, and it works really great there. We've done a couple of upgrade processes through that, and then I use UniFi gear at home. I have a UDM Pro, an old XG16, a couple of 24-port switches. I brought one of my 24-port switches here. I have a bin that just has old APs, just like yeah. Here's one of my AC
that's
waves.
The bigger one.
Yeah, ACHDs that I brought. We're running a couple of AP6 Nanos here, just because that's what I had available.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take my AC my 6 long range away from home. That's too important at home. But you know, it's real nice to be able to just grab some of that gear, plug and play. Have a Cloud Key G2 Plus that is doing all the video capture and all the management for the gear. I'm one of those guys that UniFi has always worked reasonably well for. I've pretty much never had a problem. I think the price performance is just fantastic. That's why I go with it.
That AP Nano that he has in there, what is he connecting to it? What is he utilizing all his clients for?
So we're really just using it for like accessory devices, using wired network for our streaming. I'm sure we could do it over Wi-Fi, over Wi-Fi 6, but this is such a noisy, especially in there where the pinball machines are. If we can hardwire for streaming, it's better off. We're just better off.
Oh, for sure.
So we all have our cell phones connected to it. Our tablet devices, my laptop's connected to it, stuff like that. So we're using it just as normal Wi-Fi device. I mean, what you use everything for. What was funny is I first set it up out here with the AC-HD before I had the AC Nano or the 6 Nano running back there, and we were getting good signal even before we had the AP in there. It's just, that's just UniFi APs.
Very cool. Before I even saw any of this stuff, I saw all his camera work.
Yeah.
This is my extent of my camera work. But he's got like a really elaborate setup. It probably took forever on each one. And then randomly, I saw the G3 Flex. So what is he using that for as opposed to all the other cameras?
So all the other cameras are hardwired in, HDMI, direct into a capture device. The G3 Flex cameras we're using as sort of an area camera. So we have a couple of them strapped up to poles, and they're really great for just getting sort of an area view. And what's really nice about them over a lot of other security cameras that I've had to use is they just have a straight RTSP feed out of them. I can just copy the link, paste it right into OBS, which is what we're using for streaming, and it just comes right up and it's perfect, which is just awesome. I hate cameras that bury those settings. It just drives me up the wall.
No, like I'm on a very basic level. I'm trying to learn some of the back end stuff, but I'm not a professional. You know what I'm saying?
I've been doing it for a while, so yeah.
So what would you say, like with the Ubiquiti stuff, what would you say is like the best feature of it for your home use and your like business use, like that you guys use it for?
So I love, I actually really like for home use and for business use, for small business use, I really like the single pane of glass that a UDM Pro or using a USG and a cloud key gives you. That ability to see all of your network gear, and now, especially with the latest versions, you can not only see all of your network gear, you can see all your access control devices, you can see all your video all your security cameras, all that stuff in one place. It's just super, super convenient. And the fact that I can grab my phone out anywhere, I can log into my network from home, log in and see what my devices are at home and what's up and what's going on right now if I wanted to. And the same thing for here. I can be in our hotel room and say, who's wandering around our studio area and check that sort of thing out. So that's really nice to be able to do.
Yeah, when I first started getting into this stuff, like before, I didn't even know it was possible to do this. Like I was renting from Comcast, and then they wanted to charge me money for an extender, Wi-Fi extender, out to the tiny house I built. Yeah. And then I wanted a camera system, so I bought like a $300 camera system off of Amazon that required like an external hard drive. Anyway, it didn't work for more than a month. So then I learned about this stuff, and like, is there anything, just because I'm not experienced with the network so much, is there anything out there like this?
There isn't anything at that price point that does what it does. That is, and I think that's where Ubiquiti really shines, is fitting that price point niche really well. And it has there's such a broad product platform that you can get whatever you need if you need it in that platform, if you want to stay in that ecosystem. There are competitors, but you tend to get into much more expensive systems. The system that I have where I'm employed, we spent 6 figures putting the whole thing together. We have 30 cameras across 5 different sites and wireless links and stuff like that. I'm running a little bit short on time.
Okay, no, that's great. I appreciate your input. Thank you very much. I'm glad it's working out for you. Well, thanks again, everybody, for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. What do you think of my t-shirt here? These guys are really cool. They like to help out people in the community that want to get into the pinball industry and into the hobby, so definitely check these guys out. I had a really good time. There was a lot of fun games to play, a lot of cool people to meet, and I can't wait to go back next year. Joe used the Ubiquiti setup inside of a library, and they said that they are really enjoying that, but he also used it in a prison. If you can trust it in a place like that, then I'm sure it's going to work wonderfully in your own house or your small business. Or big business. Wherever you want to put this shit, it works perfect. Next week, we're going over to Handsome Dan's place, and we're going to go ahead and get started on his network setup. I got him a couple G4 bullets. We got him some G3 instance. I got him a Nano AP, so that way he can set up his own network and run everything off of that AP. Then we're going to help him set up his own Wi-Fi network, but not just his Wi-Fi network. He will also be able to set up a secondary Wi-Fi network for the real estate company that he shares the building with. And they're in a strip mall, so there's like 3 other businesses, and I want to go into those businesses and try to do a Wi-Fi connection from there. And if it works out, hey, Dan can just start charging internet access to the other businesses around him, including a pub. So I'm gonna give that a shot, especially the one down on the end, which happens to be a microbrewery. I'm gonna see if I can hook them up with some gear too. Maybe we can, maybe I can give them some gear and they can give me some beer. That sounds good. Gear and beer. Did I just come up with something clever? Gear and beer and gear. That's what this channel is going to be. It's going to be my next podcast, right? We're going to talk about gear, and we're also going to drink a lot of beer, which is great. Who doesn't want to do that? Pretty sure that's what I already do. Well, why don't you come join me? Why don't you come down there and we'll have a beer together? I'll buy you one. I'll tell you about all the cameras and the sweet Wi-Fi gear. If you happen to be in the Oregon area and you're a cool guy and you need a cool gal and you need a sweet setup, give me a call. Let me know. Send me a text or a comment down below and let me know that you are in need of a sweet Wi-Fi setup. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really exciting. So make sure to come back and see me, everybody, because I love your support. And I love it when you like and subscribe and you hit that notification thing in the corner. That really helps me out. I could not build this channel without you, and I'm having a blast doing it. So thanks, everybody, for checking out the channel, and have a nice day. So thanks, everybody, for checking out the channel, and have a nice day. And there was a car behind me, wasn't there? Damn it. He knows he fucked it up. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. He knows he fucked up my shoot. All right, let's do it again. No kids screaming. One more car. One more car. Oregon Department of Agriculture. There's no farms around here. It's like prime time right now. Prime time car driving. All right, ready? Here we go. Take 18.